Jungkook slowly opened his eyes. The sunlight stripped with thought. The curtain he turned beside him was sleepy smiled, expecting to see the face he loved the most, but the place beside him was empty. Jungkook calm. He sat up quickly. His smile faded. His heart started to beat. Jungkook faster. He looked around the room, searching every corner, but there was no sign of them. Jungkook, where did you go? He mumbled softly to himself, already missing the warm presence beside him. Without wasting a second, he got out of the bed and rushed towards the door. He opened it fast and stepped out. His bare feet touched the cold floor, but he didn't care. Jungkook walked around the mansion, checking every space his eyes could reach, but no sign of the one he was looking for. His heart felt tight. Jungkook mumbled, "Where are you, baby?" He frowned and quickly made his way down the stairs. As he passed the living room, he stopped. A soft, melodious voice echoed his ears from the kitchen. It was a voice he could recognize in his dream. Mom, I'll do that. Taekook said gently. The bow from Mrs. Jan. And Mrs. Jan, you don't have to do everything, son. She replied with a warm smile, patting the bar back. Then checked her softly and glanced at her with sparkling eyes. Jungkook leaned against the kitchen door frame, finally able to breathe again. A small smile appeared on his lips as he watched the two of them. I'm here now, Mom. It's time for you to sit and rest, he said, while pouring water into the bowl. Mrs. Jian smiled and reached out, looking the tip of his nose playfully. Mrs. Jian, well, someone is waiting for you in the doorway. She smiled and turned her head towards the door. Taehyung looked up surprised. His husband, and when he saw his husband standing there, "You wake up," he said softly. I fixed on Jungkook, who was scratched the back of his neck and gave a side note. Mrs. Yan teasing, why were you standing there all this time, son? Shuriken and Jungkook, who blinked at her like a caged puppy and looked away. You still haven't brushed or take a bath? Taehyung asked with a gentle tone, placing the bowl into the sink. He walked over and stood in front of Jungkook, waiting for his answer. Jungkook, no, he said quietly with a small smile. Mrs. Jian, why? She asked, coming closer and standing beside her son. Mrs. Jian, because my son was busy looking for his wife and he forgot everything else. I'm right? Right. She grinned, she winked at Jungkook, who didn't say anything. He just looked at her blankly and then turned his eyes back to his beautiful husband, blushing a small Sally. Go and do your morning routine, Cookie, he said softly, secretly hiding his smile. That Jungkook clearly noticed the red on his cheek. Jungkook, come after this to dry my hair, he added cheerfully before turning around. Tim nodded quickly. Okay. Jungkook smiled to himself as he walked back upstairs to their room. Behind him, the kitchen. Mrs. Jin looked at him with soft, loving eyes. Mrs. Jin, I never thought that my son would ever fall in love, but look at him now. She spoke gently, emotion filled her voice. Taehyung smiled softly and began cutting onion. Taehyung, why, Mom? He asked without looking at Mrs. Young. Didn't you know he is too cold with everyone? She signed, a smile on her tone. Taehyung shaking his head. No, Mom, he never acted cold with me. But yes, I know he was cold with my family and maybe with everyone. He paused, then he looked up at her. Is he cold with you, Dad and Chen too? He asked, curious. Mrs. Jan nodding slowly. You don't know how much That boy is really hard to understand. Even as his mother, I couldn't win against him, she chuckled sadly, Mrs. Young. No one can ever guess what he'll do next. He is clever and cold-hearted even with us. Sometimes she exclaimed with a small sign, but there was love in her tone. Taehyung surprised really, but no matter how cold we are to others, he always show affection to our family, right? Is are still confused, Mrs. Chan? Yes, you're right, but believe me, you are the first person he is truly comfortable with. You are the only one he saw his feeling to. She smiled widely now. Mrs. Jian, no one could change him, but when you come into his life, we got to see our baby Jungkook again. She wiped her eyes softly. Mrs. Jian, baby, you are like a gift from the heaven to us. The blessing and smiled warmly. No, Mom, he always been soft-hearted from inside. He looked down, a soft smile on his lip. I just helped him bring it out. He said softly, gazing back at Mrs. Jian. She returned his smile full of affection. Mrs. Jian, only for you, she whispered. Tehung's heart melted once again. Mrs. Jim called one old man and Chang for breakfast, okay? She gently patted Tehung's shoulder with a warm smile. Tehung, okay, Mom, till then I'll place the food on the table. He smiled softly as she nodded and walked out of the kitchen, calling for her husband and son. Tehung began to place the dishes on the big wooden dining table. His hand moved quickly, but his mind was calm and filled with joy. Today was his first full day in this house as a married man. He still couldn't believe everything that happened so fast. It was like a dream, a beautiful dream. He never thought that one decision, one sudden night could change his whole life like this. Just yesterday he was running from the pain of his family, but now he was living like a prince in this mansion with such a lovely family around. It was a first marriage. Yes, Cookie had asked him out of the blue, and the same evening they were married. He didn't even know what made him say yes so quickly. Maybe it was the pain he wanted to escape. Maybe it was Cookie eyes, but now he didn't regret it, not even a bit. He smiled at him, said this was his new life, his new family, his new world. Mrs. John walking back into the kitchen. Are you done? The husband, yes, Mom. Where are the others, Mrs. John? They are coming, son. She sat down on one. She sat down on one of the chairs and looked at him. Why are you still standing? Come sit beside me. Then he smiled again. Oh no, Mom. Let them come first. Mrs. Young pouting. Can't you wait just by sitting here? Then chuckled and shook his head. No, just then Mrs. Jian and Chen entered the room. Mrs. Jian exactly what did our Tehun make breakfast today? Mrs. Jian proudly, yes, everything. He didn't even let me help a bit. Chang teasingly, even if you had helped, the delicious food would be ended up ruined, Mom. Mrs. Jian widened her mouth and eyes in a face of Mrs. Jian, yeah, how can you say that to your own mother? Mr. Jian adding more chili and enjoying the fun. You said the right thing, son. Aaron burst into laughter, including Tino, who was now wiping tears from his eyes from laughing so hard. Mrs. Jiang, how can you call yourself my family a cook fine? Tian still smile defending. Yes, Mom, he is a brilliant chef, Mrs. Jiang, mocking you. First day is just starting, son. You don't know how delicious your mother cook, right, Chang? Chang, true. We took a big bite from the food and hummed happily. Mrs. Jan pouting, wait, you old man. I'll see you after breakfast. I thought she found a smile peep from his lips as he looked at him. Mrs. Jan, Tete, now come sit here. She pulled the chair beside her gently. Don't just stand there. Come and eat with us, son. Mr. Jan nodded with food in his mouth. Yes, come on now. Tehun nodded and quickly walked to the chair, sitting down next to his mother-in-law. His heart felt full watching them laughing and eating like this. This was peace. Chen, serious. Who thought you cooking cookie things properly? I learned it on my own. Madam, Dad, and Trixie were always hungry, so I had to cook for them. Chang's smile faded a bit as she looked at him. Mrs. Jian also glanced at her son with a knowing look at her heart lightly aching. She gently patted him back. Mrs. Jian, kings are also a little rich, right? And didn't the maid cook him softly shaking his head? No maids were kept in the house. Mr. Jian frowned. You had to do all the chores? No, then yes. He took a sip of water, eyes lowering to the table again. Tihan quietly, I wasn't allowed to eat with them at the dining table. There was a heavy silence in the air. He smiled softly, tried to lift the mood. That's why I'm so happy and lucky to be able to sit on the same table like you are. Such kind and respectful people. Mr. and Mrs. Yan and Cheng all looked at him with warm eyes full of love and sympathy. Mrs. Jian gently cupped his cheek. Don't say such things, son. Actually, we are lucky to have a son-in-law like you. No one was perfect for Cookie like you. Everyone was just after money and beauty, but my son chose you on his own. That means something, Tete. That means everything. Tehang eyed and glassy with emotion, he lifted her into a deep smile. Tehang Jian family is the best family I've ever met. They are real and nodded together. Mrs. Jian smiled proudly. And now you are also a Jian. Tehang looking down slyly, his cheeks turning bright red as he nodded, a soft smile never leaving his lips. Jungkook, Tete, come. Jungkook called from upstairs, leaning against the railings with messy hair. His bare upper body was shining under the morning light. Getting up quickly, I think Cookie wake up. Then I'll go dry his hair. Mrs. Chen smiled. All right, come back soon, son. Then nodded and walked out of the kitchen. As he looked up, his eyes met his husband. Jungkook stood tall, shirtless, with water drops still clinging to his neck. His hair was wet and eyes soft and playful. The sight made Tihan's heart race. Tihan thinking, why does he look like a prince even in this state? He got nervously and started climbing the stairs, but paused when Jungkook stepped closer and stretched out his hand like a doll. Jungkook smiled warmly. Here, let me take you inside my Taehoon frozen, his cheeks slowly turned pink. He was confused at first. Was Jungkook being playful again? But deep inside, he knew very well how much his husband loved him. That thought made him feel safe. Taehoon smiled gently and slowly placed his hand in Jungkook's arm. Taehoon Jungkook softly shook her. "You fit here so beautiful." He stood and stared, holding Taehoon's hand tightly, but like he never wanted to let go again. They walked side by side, hands joined. Taehoon stared at their hands, fingers looking together like puzzle pieces. It felt like their whole being was created just to fit into each other. Taehoon thinking with a soft smile, "Is this what you call love? This warm, this calm?" One inside the room, Jungkook sat on the chair without letting go of his hand. Taehoon blushing hand, Jungkook, "Oh, sorry." He let go slowly and Taehoon felt the warmth leave his skin like a burden had slipped away. He missed it, already still holding his. Taehoon picked up the towel and started gently drying Jungkook's wet hair. His finger moved softly, carefully, not to hurt him. Jungkook stared at Taehoon's reflection in the mirror with a soft smile. His heart fulfilled. Jungkook thinking, "Everyone called me cold, but with him I feel so warm inside." He melted very well in I don't care what people say with him. I just wanted to be soft, gentle, everything I never thought I could be. Taehoon finished drying his hair and placed the towel aside. He then picked up the comb and started fixing Jungkook's hair slowly. Taehoon softly, "Why are you sitting staring at me like that?" Jungkook smiled, "Because I love to stare at you." Taehoon laughed lightly. "Why?" Jungkook, "Because you are beautiful. Sometimes I wonder, do you really belong to this world? You are just on another level." Taehoon blushing and giggled, "Another level? That's too much, Cookie." Suddenly Jungkook pulled Taehoon by the waist, making him fall into his chair. Taehoon started and lowering his voice, "Hey, what are you doing?" Jungkook softly, "Tete, can I?" His deep gaze made Taehoon breathe. He knew what Jungkook was asking. He slowly nodded his eyes, looked with his husband. Jungkook gently hugged him closer, resting his head on Taehoon's shoulders for a second and then leaned in. Their mate that was slow, soft, and full of emotion. Taehoon's eyes closed as he melted into the. It was his first ever, and it felt so warm, like honey on a cold day. Goosebumps ran over his skin. His heart beat fast, but he didn't want the moment to end. Taehoon thinking, "This is love. This is everything I wanted to feel." Jungkook was feeling the same. His hand held Taehoon's waist gently, guiding him, but never rushed. It was his first too. He had never wanted to someone this before, and now here he was living that dream. Jungkook thinking, "He is mine. This sweet boy is mine. Now I will never let him go." They moved in perfect fitting, just like their hands had done earlier. Even there felt like it was made just for the two of them. By the time they slowly pulled apart, both were breathless but smiled. Jungkook smiled with his forehead again. Taehoon, "You belong to me now, and I belong to you." Taehoon whispered only that mattered, Cookie, and in that moment, without any big promise or word, they had said everything, and they finally home in each other's arms. Jungkook, I'm going. Jungkook said while walk past the main door. His assistant who was following him closely, carrying the file in his hand. Mrs. Chan, take care, son, she said quickly, looking at her son with smile. Jungkook paused just in front of the door. Then, after a moment, he turned back slightly and softly called out, "Jungkook, Tete." Taehyung, who was working in the kitchen, heard his husband's voice. His eyes widened and he quickly wiped his wet hand on a towel. His clothes were stained with a little red from the spice, but he didn't care. He ran out and smiled brightly. Taehyung, have a great day. He waved cheerfully at Jungkook, who was still near the door. Jungkook softly came here. Taehyung blinked and hesitated. He looked down at his shirt a little from cooking. He knew Jungkook was someone who liked everything clean. Taehyung felt a little shy and embarrassed, but still he walked towards him slowly. When he stood in front of Jungkook, his eyes widened when the older man suddenly pulled him into a hug and him. Taehyung cookie. He was shocked at first, but soon wrapped his arms around back. Uh, Jungkook holding him tightly and him back. Jungkook whispering near his ear, "Take care, I'll be back early." Before Taehyung could say anything, Jungkook leaned in and placed her on his chest. Taehyung's heart skipped a beat. His face turned red. Instantly, he felt like he was flying. Taehyung blinked. Okay." He nodded slowly, looking at Jungkook. A soft smile, even thought his shirt was dirty. Jungkook didn't care. He hugged him anyway without thinking about anything else. Taehyung thinking, when I am messy, he still hugged me. Maybe I really matter to him more than I think. Jungkook turned away without saying anything more and walked out, followed by Hobi. Taehyung stood frozen still there, still feeling the warmth on his cheeks. Mrs. Jan, teasing, "Son, you really make him fall for you harder every day." Taehyung jumped a little when he heard her words. He quickly turned around, scratching the back of his neck, and bless heart. Taehyung nervously, "What are you saying, Mom? I'll go back to cooking." He quickly ran towards the kitchen, hiding his smile. His heart was still like crazy. He turned on the gas again and started boiling water, still smiling like a silly boy in love. Few moments later, Mrs. Jan walked into the kitchen. "Mrs. Jan, let's go to the market with me." Tete, turning to her, "No." Mrs. Jan holding, "Yes, go and get ready." "Okay, Mom." He turned off the gas and quickly walked to his room as usual. As he didn't take much time, he got ready, even in casual clothes. He looked very stylish and fresh. That was the charm Taehyung carried naturally. When he came out, Mrs. Jan looked at him from top to bottom and smiled. "Mrs. Jan, let's go, baby." Taehyung nodded, "Yes, Mom." They both stepped out of the mansion. As they walked towards the car, Mr. Jan was near the door watching them. It is junk food, Mrs. Jones. What can we do? Dear, he liked to eat there, and nobody wake up that early to make a full lunch box. It's been his habit since long. Then noticed a I see. He looked outside the window, thinking about something quickly. His hand rested on but his mind was already planning something. Then thinking I'll wake up early tomorrow and make something for him. I want him to eat healthy food. Mrs. Jones smiled to herself. Was the quiet expression on the boy's face. She knew he was already trying to take care of Jungkook in every little way.